All right, guys. So I've decided that I'm going to make a new tote bag. So I was working on making a tote bag, and the tote bag I was working on today, I came to the realization that I made a lot of mistakes with that tote bag, and I want to try again with making the tote bag again. But this time, I'm going to let the fabric guide me through how to make the tote bag. So I have a pattern for the tote bag, but I'm going to go ahead and modify those steps a little bit to go in line with this fabric. Okay. Because sometimes you can try and try, and actually, I've tried twice to make this bag, and I've just decided this time, let me just go with how the fabric is. So, this will be my third time making a tote bag out of this material here. And when it comes to sewing, you're going to make a lot of mistakes before you can become someone who is, a professional. It takes time with any type of hobby, any type of thing you do. You can put all your effort into something and find out that, hey, this isn't working for me. But you know what? The important thing is to keep going and keep trying. And even if you have to start over, like, writers know this, actors know this, even people in sports know this, that, you're going to make mistakes. Even if you're learning to drive, you're still going to make mistakes along the way, but that's how you learn and that's what helps you. Okay. So, what I am going to do today is cut this fabric in half. So, as you can see, there is there's the material at the top that's in blue, and there's the material at the bottom. And yes, this is Native American fabric. I brought this fabric from a fabric sale where I take my sewing classes at. So um, I decided that, I would pick this fabric up because a lot of people seem scared of this fabric. I hope they have more of this fabric because I think it will be awesome because I'd like to make more bags if I can. So, like I said, I'm going to let the fabric guide me through the process. And as a beginner sewist or seamstress, whatever you call yourself in terms of sewing, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I'm learning that it's important not to be perfectionist in sewing because you're not going to be. Because the only way in sewing that you learn, you have to make mistakes. And, even if you make mistakes, you gain experience. Once you gain experience, you're going to make better and better creations and stuff. So, yeah. And I have other tote bags that I have made, and I use those as guides so that I remember things that I'm supposed to do in each tote bag. And this is probably going to be the largest tote bag that I'm going to end up making. So, or it might be a little smaller. It really depends. But the fabric sure makes it look like it's going to be big with the sides. But anyway, as you can see, this is a beautiful fabric. I love how pretty this is. And I hope they have more because then I can make more of these tote bags. So, yeah. This fabric is rather light, so I am going to be interfacing this fabric, both pieces of it. So I can't wait to do that. Um, so I brought some scissors. So these are premium sewing scissors that I brought. I paid $10 for these, and with these sewing scissors, well, rather fabric scissors, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, they're dressmaking scissors. These are great for cutting fabric, and I also get a tape measure in here as well. The tape measure I've been using here is kind of like a pink tape measure that I have that's kind of for fabric. I brought it for really cheap. It's like 99 cents at Joann's, I believe. Comes in like pink and purple and everything like that. I have this wrapped around my neck because I think it's just something that a seamstress would do. And so I just kind of my own kind of seamstress kind of style anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this fabric. As you can see, what I've done is I've made a line across this fabric to cut this in half and things. So typically for my tote bags, they have to have a 18 by 18 um, length and width, but unfortunately, this isn't going to be like this. This is going to be a little bit shorter. I think this is going to end up being 21 and a half by 17 and a half, which is fine. I'll work with it because in sewing, that's what you do. You work with what you have with fabric. And another tip on fabric, if you can get your fabric for cheap, please do that because fabric can be expensive if you go to Joann's or even if you go online And let's say you're trying to find some like anime fabric or something, or maybe fabric for like that has characters from a TV show on it, you may spend a lot more money on it. And, you want to try to keep your fabric cheap if you can, especially for your crafting projects, whatever it is that they may be. So, like I said, I made this line across this fabric using a pencil. I don't have a fabric, any kind of fabric marker or anything like that. I haven't gotten into doing that, so I just use an old fashioned mechanical pencil. And I don't think that's really going to matter once I'm finished with the bag anyway. I believe it's going to be folded down, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But anyway, what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut this fabric using my dressmaking scissors. Dressmaking scissors can be um, dressmaking scissors um, can be expensive if you try to find them. They can be anywhere between like 30, 40, 50 or more dollars if you go to like Joann Fabrics. So as you can see, I got these for a steal because these were $10, and Joann's you probably spend, upwards of $40 or more. So like I said, so I got a pretty good deal on it. And when it comes to sewing supplies, if you can get your sewing supplies for cheap, that's always good too. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this fabric in half, and then I will let you guys see what it looks like after I'm done cutting it.